So hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mick, and today we're going to fit some coils in the One Orion. Now this is the RBA that I bought to go with my Orion 2 Pro. Obviously that's the Orion RBA in there. And I don't know if you've watched the other video that I did, but there was a coil included in there, but I couldn't get it to fire in there, but I could get it to fire in there. So I just ended up doing it because I wanted to use it. Obviously I just bought it and I wanted to try it. And it works absolutely amazing. It's a cracking coil. So I'm just hoping that this RBA is as good as that coil that they actually included in the box. So eyes down and look in. I've been on the internet and I looked and I bought these because obviously when you buy the Pro kit, the limited edition kit, it comes with one stock coil tank and one RBA. But you need a proper RBA tank. You can't put the RBA in the stock coil tank, as we said in the last video. So you need to buy another pod. If you Google them, you'll find them quite easy. I did. And then obviously I've also got some coils. So I've gone for the reduce direct to lung, which is what I'm looking for. 2.5 millimeter in a diameter. And I'll just show you these. You'll see them a lot better when we start to fit them in. Just so like that. So obviously they've been done with the both legs pointing down as if you were going to put them into a tank or an RTA or even an RDA. So we're going to have to bend one up. Well, we're going to have to bend them both up half each, so it will fit inside this thing. It's not ideal really, but it was the best I could muster up at short notice. Just show you these tanks. I didn't realise that you get one clear, one smoked, so you can have your choice, which is probably a good idea really if you're going to run two tanks, because you can, if you use the smoked one, then you're going to know which one you've got, aren't you really? So if both liquids are the same colour, obviously both of them come with stoppers and both of them come with the drip tips. So if you're new to this, all I've done with this is I've took half a wrap off each side, because obviously we need this to fit in this RBA. I'll show you better in a minute. That's actually not a bad shape really. As we said before, with this One Orion, if you take off the airflow, you can just screw it onto a 510. So we'll just use this mod as an ATI stand basically to get it going. So that's a 2.5 millimeter coiling rod, and that's all the room you've got. So don't go trying to put a 3 millimeter in a diameter in there, because it ain't going to fit. That was the problem I had. Just pop it in. Not really a big job. Might need to take the screws out a little bit further. Good thing about this is you can sort it out with the tweezers later. If I'd taken half a wrap off, it'll probably have we've deformed the coil a bit now. Just needs a bit of tugging and a bit of pulling and a bit of lining up. What's that like? See, there's not masses of room even in there. I'll just tighten it back up. Good. There we go. That's that. There we go with the wonky Coil Master snips, because I still haven't located mine. Get it as flat to there as I can. It still leaves a little bit on the outside, and it's a fairly tight fit, that cap. So I'll just give it a bit more. There we go. Right, let's get it started. According to the instructions on the coil, it tells you to start off pulsing at 12 watts. Never done that before, but we'll have a go. Maximum of these is 25 to 30, so we're going to be running it at 30. When we get it, we're getting some nice colours coming off it though. Look. Have I been doing it wrong all these years? Surprising how many of these coils just need that a little bit of a tug from the side. Cures all the hot spots, because obviously a hot spot is where two leads are stuck together, or two parts of the coil are stuck together. That seems about right to me. I've already checked to make sure the top cap fits. That seems a reasonably tidy build. Today we are using fuzz cotton. So there we are, that's it. Not really. We need the Fiskars shears. We need to give it about... Always remember, if it's your first time when you're wicking, if you leave too much, it doesn't matter. Because if you leave too much, let's actually trap that under there, so we'll have to change that in a minute. If you cut too much off, that's the end of it. You're done. You can always come back and cut a little bit more off. So that's what it looks like. Make sure it's out of the way of there. I think with 70-30 there's a bit too much there. So we'll just take a little bit more off. There it is. Now we need to put some e-liquid on it. Today's choice. Tickle Me Pink from Flavor Cravers Nixer range. Vapors. Pop the top back on. Make sure we don't trap any of that cotton, because otherwise it's going to leak like billio. So the idea being, obviously that's got a hole cut in the bottom to fit that in. So we'll just take that off because it'll be easier. Take off the drip tip so we can see what we're doing. And that's going to squeeze up into those O-rings at the top. Just as easy as that. So let's go. Quite simple this. Slide that down, take this pod off. Get your new pod. I've now put the airflow on because that's an easy mistake to make. I forgot to put the airflow back on. Put it on the device and it said check pod. No wonder really. That just clicks on there. That goes up. And as far as I can see, you're good to go. I've got the airflow set to fully open, and then we can always turn it down if it's no good. And now it's a couple of days later and I'm back. So, got to be honest, when I first did it, if I'd have put that review out, I'd have been regretting it now. Because at the end of the video, I actually said, you didn't see it because it's now on the cutting room floor. But I actually said I didn't like this RBA as much as I liked the other one. But I've changed quite a few things since then. I've got the wrong airflow pin in. I've put 2.5 mil. Now I've got the 3 mil. When I put the cotton in, I didn't fan it out enough. So I fanned it out a lot more and then put it back in there. I also, when I looked at the coils again, they're capable of 35 watts and not 30. So it's completely changed it. So if I'd have actually released that video then, I'd have now been regretting what I'd put. Now, we haven't got the ferocious crackle like on the other pod because it's a completely different coil. But this is cracking. The cloud that comes off it for a small pod, I mean, like when you get something like this out, I'm a little bit behind the times because I've been vaping mouth to lung for probably the last year and a half. Every now and again, I get one of my old RTAs out or one of my old RDAs and give it a good chug, and then I'm done with it. But this is lovely. It really is lovely. You're getting as much out of this as a RTA with dual coils in it. I can't praise this thing enough. I think it's brilliant. I mean, absolutely brilliant thing. And for what I sort of want nowadays, this will absolutely do me. I really wish there was a little bit more battery strength in this device, but then you would get the device twice the size and it wouldn't be the same appeal whatsoever. It's like putting a matchbox in your pocket. One thing I've noticed, if you just change pods, it will then reset itself and it baffles itself and it goes back down to 0.5 watts. So each time you change the pod, you've got to go back into, press the fire button 3 times, go back into the wattage, turn it back up to 35. But other than that, there's nothing really. And I can't really understand why it does that. But anyway. I suppose you're changing the ohms, aren't you? So 0.49, that's what it's coming up at. 35 watts. I say you've got flavour for days. I also changed e-liquids as well. I went for another one from Flavour Craver, and this is their Blue Lush. So I've been vaping that all yesterday evening while I was sat watching the telly. One thing just seemed to take getting some used to is I'm not used to getting this amount of vapour about, and I cloud up pretty quick because I chug on it like I do the mouth to lung one. So that's it. That's my journey over with the LVE Orion Pro Limited Edition kit. I've now got 2 RBAs. So I've gone down that rabbit hole as well. The first one I've ever had was last week when I got the other one. But I say I really am pleased with this. It's got me back into the 3 milligram stuff with a little bit more cloud. Catch you all soon, everybody.